Did you know that Ukraine, the country that's currently under siege by a Russian invasion, still has a thriving IT industry despite it all? In fact, as of March 2022, it's been operating at 80% capacity compared to pre-war levels. So how is this even possible? The story starts in 1991 when Ukraine became independent from Russia. Since then, tensions rose between people who were pro-European and pro-Russian. Fast forward to 2014, the Crimean Peninsula was annexed by Russia from Ukraine. In July of that same year, a passenger plane was shot down over eastern Ukraine. All 283 passengers and 15 crew members were killed. Additionally, close to 10,000 people have died during this conflict since its beginnings in 2014, with the numbers only getting worse. Then, the unspeakable happened.
The Russian President Vladimir Putin has launched a major military operation against Ukraine.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
US President Joe Biden has condemned the attack as unjustified and unprovoked.
It began to unfold last night in what you might call a worst-case scenario.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war.
The country's eastern region now under siege. Russia is seizing more territory. Street fighting is raging. The Ukrainians are increasingly outgunned and outmanned.
Захищаємо нашу незалежність, нашу державу. Так буде й далі.
Shortly after hearing the news, Ukrainian IT companies banded together to donate $24 million to their army and humanitarian aid. So how did the industry come up with a number like this? Well, let's just say business is booming. Before the war, Ukraine's IT industry was developing at an incredible pace. In 2021, the industry grew by 36% in exports and employed 285,000 specialists. Essentially, exports have more than doubled compared to the previous 3 years. Here at Trainual, we've been partnered with Everlabs, a Ukrainian-based software development company, since 2018. Due to the recent crisis, one of our team members fled Ukraine to seek refuge here in the US.
My name is Dasha, and I'm working as QA engineer in Trainual for more than 2 years, and I'm working in Ukrainian company Everlabs for more than 7 years. So right now we have more than 60 employees in Everlabs. We have a lot of people who are taking part in making something special for our world.
A lot of us are watching the news from afar without realizing the ways this conflict will impact all of us in one way or another. In fact, more than 100 of the Fortune 500 companies outsource to Ukraine. However, it's not just the major corporations that are going to take the blow. American small businesses rely on tech stacks, many of which are dependent on Ukrainian employees. That would explain why 90% of Ukraine's IT services are being outsourced to other countries.
We're so connected with other countries because mostly IT companies are working with international clients. We can do the same stuff like you do, but we ask less money because we have different prices in Ukraine, different economy. We show people that we know what we do. We very good specialists in our fields, and we can do more and better. So we're still growing, and we have a lot of plans for our future despite on the war.
With more and more work shifting from the physical to the digital world all around the globe, this drastically fueled the industry.
This is not the first time when we had hard times because 2 years ago we had COVID. And even during COVID, we had a lot of new employers. We hadn't such experience working with remote. So I would say that yes, it helped us a little bit with the current situation when the war in Ukraine.
This is what the executive director at the IT Ukraine Association had to say. We have been in a warlike state since 2014, which is why our companies took precautions before the war broke out so that operations could continue relatively undisturbed.
Luckily, we have a lot of IT companies still in Ukraine who are still trying to help our soldiers, because a lot of farms, a lot of manufacture was ruined by Russian soldiers, and our economy is very poor right now.
In February 2022, a whopping 92% of Ukrainian IT companies developed business continuation plans to prepare. At this point, it's safe to say that the Ukrainian IT industry was relatively prepared, at least as much as you could be to face an all-out invasion by Russia.
On the 21st of February, I woke up and I took my phone and I saw a lot of messages from my colleagues, from my friends that the war has started. I don't know what to do in general. I really don't know. Should I go somewhere? Should I buy something? Mentally and physically, I was stuck. But right now we understand that we need to work. We need to work more, especially IT companies need to do a lot. And it's not that situation when you just can, someone will work instead of me or someone will help instead of me. Not. This is not such situation. You need to work and you need to do more because every minute is very important and every cent, dollar is also very important.
Many Ukrainian employees that supply essential work to American businesses are currently operating from their basements and bomb shelters. This doesn't just affect the engineers that Trainual works with, but also the thousands of other small businesses that run on software like Trainual. If nothing else, we need to understand the ripple effects that this war will have. As of March 2022, 16% of the IT workforce are stationed abroad, most of these people being women, as men stayed back to defend their country.
iOS developer Bogdan Semenyuk, who also was working with Trainual, he's on the front line right now. We are still hoping that he will be okay and he will come back to us and to his normal life at least.
Of those still in Ukraine, 70% are working in quote safe regions. Additionally, 5% have joined cybersecurity to defend national infrastructure.
I know that people still trying to do their best because we don't have another choice. You're not able to go for a walk for a long time, you're not able to go to another city, to travel, so the only thing that you have is work. So people work a lot and I'm proud of my teammates, my colleagues from EverLabs. We try to collect a lot of money to help our soldiers who are on the front line.
Luckily, Ukraine has strong-hearted individuals who have kept this robust industry thriving to aid in war efforts. However, only time will tell on how much longer they can really go on.
I left Ukraine and physically I'm here, but mentally I'm in Ukraine with my colleagues, with my EverLabs family, because they are not just only colleagues for me. They're part of my family, of my life. It's very difficult to explain, especially when you're so far from your country, because it's much more than just even okay, I'm here and everything is good here, but things that are happening in Ukraine are horrible. You should not be Ukrainian just to support Ukraine. You should be a human to support Ukraine. Because right now, this situation can change the world in general.
The consequences of this war will not only be felt by those in Ukraine and Russia, but all around the globe. Ukraine's impact is interconnected with the rest of the world.
EverLabs is trying to be very positive. So we're still trying to hope for the best, to build plans, but of course it's very difficult. But what else do we have? Just hope.